All right, first off, Jimmy Haslam, you got $1 billion company. You're the boss of it, the owner. I don't want to hear rookie or coach of the year. I don't want to hear what we used to be with Hugh Jackson, which, by the way, had no talent. I don't want to hear these NFL analysts saying, oh, the Browns finally got it right. I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear all that because you had one of the best rosters in the National Football League and you're sitting at 5-5. And we're losing games because of coaching, okay? We're not losing games because teams are better than us. We're losing games because of coaching. Kevin Stefanski, philosophy. The Chargers game, inexcusable to score 40-some points and lose that game. 27-13 lead. He goes run, run, pass, run, run. The guy just can't call plays. It's inexcusable to lose that game in the Steelers game. Listen, if you win both those games, you should have won. You're 7-3 right now. There's no panic. But you're the fucking owner of this franchise, okay? And let me tell you how bad your team is not prepared to play. Against Cincinnati, we came out there with a game plan, which, by the way, I understand the analytics department you got to get rid of. Paul DePotesta, it's time to wave goodbye to him. The analytics say, let's go for on fourth down. The analytics say, let's play soft defense and let them make their own mistake. We'll let them drive down the field and they'll eventually make a mistake. The analytics say that. However, the defense that you played great in against Cincinnati, who has all them weapons, you played press coverage, and you went after the quarterback, you got the most turnovers I think you've had all year combined in one game. What's that tell you? So the next week we're facing a rookie quarterback, Mac Daniel Jones, who likes to get rid of the ball early, quick. Well, you would think a good coaching staff would say press coverage, get after the quarterback. Who doesn't rush and blitz a rookie quarterback? Who doesn't? Kevin Stefanski. Joe Woods. Everybody wants to blame Joe Woods. Hey, it's all analytics. It's not Joe Woods. You think he wants to play that defense? It's Kevin Stefanski and the analytic department, Andrew Berry. That game should have never been 45-7. Now, I'm not saying we would have beat the Patriots, but I can damn sure tell you this: we wouldn't have got blown out. Also, we went down the field, opening script plays. Your first script plays went down and scored with ease. Come back, and what's he do? He starts throwing the ball over the field. Mayfield turns the ball over. They score 14-7. He abandons a run that early. Don't tell me they stack the box. When's the last time you've seen the box stacked on us and Stefanski just abandon the run? Never. He'll never abandon the run. But he did. 14-7. This guy is the worst coach ever. He can't manage a game. He looks like an offensive coordinator calling plays. That's all he does. And he's the worst play caller ever. So, Jimmy, you have $1 billion industry. I want him fired because I do believe the morale of the team right now. The offense quit on him and the defense quit on him the other day because they don't agree with his philosophy. It's quite evident that Stephon Diggs and OBJ, both superstar receivers, so they tell me, at least Stephon Diggs is, they wanted out of this offense because we run a high school offense, Jimmy. You know that? Your team, $1 billion team, runs a high school offense. Anyway, I would like to see him fired because the guy's got a fucking ego problem and he just won't. I mean, really, a real head coach will recognize he's the problem and give up play calling. But I know you're probably not going to do that. But I really think you should consider firing this guy for the simple fact is this team is underachieved. Underachieved severely, it's underachieved. And not only that, they lead the league in penalties. It's undisciplined. There are no adjustments made during the game, after the game, anywhere. All I hear is the same thing. I got outcoached. We got outplayed. That's all I hear. He makes no in-game adjustments. There was a game against Pittsburgh. Honest to God. The guy muffed that punt. It hit him. Clearly. I recorded it. I don't know why he never challenged it. That changes the game. We win the game easily then because that was in the 35-yard line. We get the ball back there, even a field goal, but we would have won the game. He doesn't, because he's so concentrated on his play calling. The guy's not equipped to be a head coach, Jimmy. You drop the ball. The analytics department needs to get the fuck out of here. You should have hired Josh McDaniels. Why do you think they humiliated you Sunday? Josh McDaniels was rubbing your nose in it because he said, you know what? You called me for a second interview. I came, I brought my family, and you didn't hire me. So, Jimmy, we lost 2 games right there just on coaching alone. He's horrible. And this offense, God, a child could run it. You don't even need a great quarterback. It's so bland and pathetic. It's the worst offense. I mean, what are you doing? I understand you fired guys before, but now's the time when you really should fire this guy. Make no mistake about it. If you're not going to fire the guy, you need to tell him that you're not happy with the play calls and you want Alex Van Pelt to get play calling. Remember last year against Pittsburgh, how smooth our offense was? And you know damn well, Jimmy, if Kevin was coaching that team that day instead of had COVID, we would have lost that lead. Look at our record. If the game ends, Jimmy, listen to this, Jimmy. If the game ended at the end of the third quarter, which means we don't play the fourth quarter, the Cleveland Browns have the best record in the NFL at 8-2. What does that tell you? That tells you that Kevin Stefanski, as a head coach, cannot coach. When the game gets tight, he loses everything. The guy's terrible. He's the worst He's the worst coach I've ever seen. He's terrible. I don't even think he deserves a second chance. I would love to be him fired, but the least you can do, the very least you can do, is to make him give up play calling to Alex Van Pelt. He's made your quarterback, the guy you drafted number one in 2018, regress. Coaches aren't supposed to make their quarterbacks regress. You know what coaches do? They come to a team and they build a system to suit their quarterback. This guy is a systems coach. He can't coach any other system. He needs to give a play calling. And the analytics department that wants our defense to keep the offense on the field for 15 plays, whatever the fuck it is, so they can cause their own turnovers, it's not happening, Jimmy. You got supreme talent on the defensive end of the ball, and it's playing terrible. You know why? Because they're not getting after the quarterback. They're not playing aggressive. I played the game, Jimmy, and I'm sure you have too. When you play defense, you want to be aggressive. When you're not aggressive, you're terrible. We're wasting this window. You've killed this team by letting Stefanski run roughshod for the last 10 games. We're 5-5. There's no way we should be 5-5 right now. That Chargers game and that Steelers game stick out because those were two easy, winnable games that Stefanski gave away. He gave them away, Jimmy. How can you sit back and let this happen? You need to take away play calling duties. You know what you do? You take away play calling duties, and guess what? If he threatens to quit, there you go. He can quit. You don't have to pay him. But believe me, this guy isn't qualified to be a head coach. You dropped the ball. You should have hired Josh McDaniels. Get rid of the analytics department. It doesn't belong in football. You can use it somewhat, but god damn it, Jimmy, when your defensive scheme is based on analytics and you're not getting the job done, I've never heard of not blitzing a rookie quarterback. The guy gets rid of the ball faster than anyone in the league right now. Why not play press coverage to screw up the timing? Why does a fucking high school dropout like me know this and your head coach, your coaching staff don't? So, Jimmy, you got some big problems in Cleveland. If we were 7-3 right now because we didn't lose 2 games because our coach is a jackass, we could lose the Baltimore 1 game. We could lose the Detroit. It wouldn't be no big deal. But now we need to win out. And you got a major problem at quarterback, too, with Mayfield. I know he's injured, but guess what? This ain't the same guy we had a rookie year. It's like Stefanski cut his balls off. He's ballless now. He's scared to throw downfield. He's scared. He's playing fear because of Stefanski. Stefanski ruined him. Good coaches make their quarterbacks better. This guy's ruined Mayfield. It's time, Jimmy, to pull the plug. Honestly, Andrew Berry, he used your money to sign Austin Hooper, who nobody was contending to sign. Nobody wanted this guy. He wasted $40 million of your money to sign this guy. And then he wasted another $6 million on a backup that Kevin had to have, Case Keenum. I had to have him. And then I heard he offered Mayfield like $35 million. If Mayfield would have accepted that franchise would have been crippled. Jimmy, I believe Mayfield could be a good quarterback, but it's not going to be under Kevin Stefanski. And the way the NFL is going right now, we need a quarterback that can actually run. We need a quarterback like a Marcus Mariota, someone that can move like that. But I want someone actually upgraded with Mariota. But if we had Mariota right now, we'd be in better shape because he can run. So, Jimmy, the ball's in your court. You have every right to demand your head coach of your billion-dollar industry to give up play calling. You are the boss, Jimmy. Remember that. He's wasting the team that you paid for. All this talent you have, and all NFL experts are saying we're the most disappointing team in the league. Why is he still calling plays? Why is the defense still playing that analytic, let them make their own mistakes? Very poorly coached team, Jimmy. You know it as well as I do. In fact, Jimmy, you know what? I'll come coach your team for free. You don't even have to pay me. And if I get you in the playoffs, we'll talk extension. But this guy is definitely clueless. I don't know how this guy... He was a defensive line coach before he became offensive coordinator in Minnesota. And he chased Stephon Diggs out. And Odell Beckham was virtually useless in this offense. We didn't throw downfield. What type of offense? Why are you paying receivers? They don't go downfield. Why even have receivers, Jimmy? If we're going to strictly run a 13 personnel, why even get receivers? Why? There's pointless. And why is Schwartz playing over all these other guys? Why? What has he brought to the table? Oh, that's right. He's Kevin's project. Kevin drafted him, right? Got to play him. It's embarrassing. He's setting your quarterback up to fail. Who, like I said, I don't even believe in Mayfield anymore. You might as well move on from Mayfield because it doesn't look like he has anything left in the tank. But your coach has a lot to do with that. I bet you if Mayfield leaves and say he goes to Pittsburgh, I bet he turns into a superstar. They'll let him play like he's capable of playing. I bet he does. And then you know what? Remember you're staring. Hey, if you sit there and twiddle your thumbs, remember when he was punking Hugh Jackson a couple of years ago on the sidelines? You might be that guy. He might be punking your Kevin Stefanski, the golden boy. Because he will beat us if he's in Pittsburgh. You know as well as I do. And Pittsburgh's not even a good team, but they're 5-3-1 right now. You know why? Because Kevin Stefanski gave him a game for free. Jimmy, the ball's in your court. You have every right to make this move. You have every right to fire him. It's unacceptable what's going on. Also, you have every right to take away play calling. The team quit on him Sunday. Offensively and defensively, they quit on your guy. I've never seen a team quit that early. They don't want to play this defense. They quit on him. The only guys that were actually trying were Mayfield and Ernest Johnson. The rest of them quit, and I don't blame them. The morale of the Cleveland Browns is at an all-time low. Nobody wants to be there. If I was Myles Garrett, I'd be calling people out too so I can get fucking cut and released and go to another team. That's the new thing in Cleveland. Just start causing problems so they'll have to release you. Because Myles knows he'll be picked up somewhere else. You're making these players, the environment Kevin Stefanski has created has destroyed the morale. Even his pet project, Jarvis Landry, you can tell he's fed up with it. And by the way, Jarvis Landry, move on from him next year. He's useless. Underneath $15 million a year, he's a waste. If you were smart, Jimmy, you'd have people start thinking about trading Nick Chubb to get some assets, some draft picks or something. It's quite evident in this offensive line that we have. Anyone can run behind it. And I like Nick Chubb, but guess what? If you can get some assets, you might as well. Jimmy, you got to start thinking of the future. Kevin ain't the future, Jimmy. And I know you're going to see this video, Jimmy, but Kevin's not the future. Start thinking of what you're seeing every Sunday. It's not a good team. It's a great team being coached by a jackass. This team could be something special, but it's not going to do it with Kevin. So if I were you, you got to get rid of this guy. I would love to see you fire him. Elevate AVP, the head coach. Let him call plays, whatever. And guess what? Aaron Rodgers, you think he wouldn't love to come play in Alex Van Pelt's offense? They're like best friends. That'll give us a chance to get out Aaron Rodgers. As it constitutes right now, you're not going to attract anybody to this team. Nobody wants to play for this guy. You think word around the league ain't out? Oh, who wants to play in Cleveland's offense with that fucking coach? They don't go downfield. Who wants to play on a defense when you can't be aggressive? The word is out in the NFL right now. Your team has become a laughingstock again because of the head coach. What he's created there. He's created an environment of fucking low morale. The team feels like they don't have a chance to compete because defensively they're not allowed to compete. All they got to do is just watch them make a mistake, and then we'll capitalize. And offensively, we're putrid with our high school offense. We're playing checkers while everybody else is playing chess, Jimmy. Do you understand that, Jimmy? I would be livid if I was you. We're playing checkers while everyone else is playing chess in the league. Imagine if we had Odell Beckham still, and we had a real head coach that knew how to call plays. He'd still be here. He would still be here. If you had Alex Van Pelt calling plays, he'd still be here. Jimmy, I don't know how you're sitting back letting this happen. But anyway, it's time to make the move, Jimmy. Fire Stefanski. Or take away play calling. Something.